Gen X grew up on late-night warnings.
It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Scared, straight.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
And were inspired by movies that defined a generation.
We were all pretty bizarre. Some of us are just better at hiding it, that's all.
Hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
I feel the need for speed.
We found our attitude in comedy.
I'm Gumby, damn it.
You see that sign?
No shirt, no shoes,
No dice.
Right. Learn it. Know it. Live it.
And our identity in pop culture.
I want my MTV!
I want my MTV.
I want my MTV!
What you talking about, Willis?
Keep your feet in the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
This is Gen X Men with Bill Rowland and Gary Dollarhide.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
All right, here we are, episode number 30. Bill Rowland and Gary Dollarhide back again with you on the Gen X Men podcast. And we got a lot to get to. There was a lot in the last week that is directly involved with Gen X, I think, in this. Obviously, a lot of stuff going on. Stuff that just broke today as we record this on Thursday night, April the 16th. So let's just jump right into it. I would say it was a sad day in the last week, but the dude lived to 96. It's a hell of a run, right?
He got up there.
Sid Krofft of the legendary Sid and Marty Krofft Productions passed away within the past week. Of course, everybody who is of our age, although I did find out, Gary, in talking to Carrie, that she didn't know all of Sid and Marty Krofft's stuff, which I found fascinating that she was like, yeah, I don't really remember that. But
really?
You had that as well, though, right? There's some of these that I rattle off to you that you're like, I kind of know that, but I'm not 100%. So maybe part of it was like regional, whether or not you actually got their stuff.
But let's just start Land of the Lost. That was a big one for me, right?
Absolutely.
HR Pufnstuf, not so much. And I can't tell you why. I'm not sure if it was access or my parents or who knows at that age. So that's why it's kind of hard to say, well, was it regional? You were in DC. I was only 2.5 hours south. And that's the difference. It may have been a parental thing. Who knows?
Well, let's give everybody a taste of what you're talking about with HR Pufnstuf. Let me full screen this bad boy. Is that coming through okay?
Yes, we can hear it.
Can you see it, though?
Yes. Yep,
okay.
He's running down the mountain.
Yep. So that's Jack Wild, who actually lived a bit of a tragic life. He died in his early 50s from oral cancer. He was an alcoholic after he went through. He played in the musical Oliver and was also in this show, which was only 13 episodes, but it's amazing. Watch. This is incredible. Here's Witchy Poo.
From her broom room in the sky, she watched her plans materialize. She waved her wand. The beautiful boat was gone. The skies grew dark, the sea grew rough, and the boat sailed on and on and on. And
see, Witchy Poo wanted the magic flute that he has. That's HR Pufnstuf right there. A fever dream.
And the odd thing that I know about him was he was on Chips. He was on an episode episode of Chips. So,
But who would get there first?
But now the boy had washed ashore, Puff arrived to save the day, which made the witch so mad and sore. She shook her fist and screamed.
I mean, they're using bellows to revive him.
well, it makes sense. We kind of do that in emergency medicine.
Did you?
Well, it's called a BVM. You squeeze the bag over their face, but same principle. Let's push some air in.
I guess,
you feel better.
All right, so there you go. There's HR Pufnstuf.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, again, wild for the 70s. The big giant. He almost looks like Mayor McCheese, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Big Mac, whatever. What was Mayor McCheese and
Mayor
Big
McCheese.
Mac was the cop, right? From the
cop.
McDonald's.
In fact, someone is selling, just sidebar, someone is selling the playground Big Mac cop up here.
That's awesome.
It's for sale on Craigslist.
For how
it's
much?
In 2 parts. Well, he said it's listed in other places, has sold as high as 16,000. So make a reasonable offer.
You're not getting that then.
But a part of me was like, "Huh, what can we do with this?" I'd set that up in the front yard.
Just put it right out there. So yeah, I mean, it was HR Pufnstuf. It was Land of the Lost. He did Electra Woman and Dyna Girl. He did, or I shouldn't say he. It was him and his brother.
Yes.
They did the Bugaloos.
Sigmund the Sea Monster.
Sigmund the Sea Monster. The Banana Splits, which again is another one that I think you remember them from King's Dominion, but you don't actually remember the show.
No, correct. Okay. So, like you said, it's very interesting because I know you and some other folks that we went to George Mason with who were Northern Virginia. I remember them singing the HR Pufnstuf song.
Yeah.
And I remember going, okay. So it's odd. Again, 2 hours away. Maybe it's the local affiliates carrying who knows what. But so what I always enjoyed Sid Marty Krofft at that time, late 60s, early 70s, because it was these big flamboyant costumes, colors, like everything was just way over the top. So I could see why when you look back, some of the parents were like, are you supposed to, is this something to do with the drug culture on Saturday morning?
Well, that was the whole thing. I mean, it's in the name, right? Pufnstuf.
Yes.
I mean, it's in the name there. And you look at all the stuff that they did, especially HR Pufnstuf, but even Banana Splits, they did some space shows as well, which I didn't remember a lot of the space shows, the couple that they did. But all that stuff, and they were asked about it over the years. They're like, was this drug inspired, like LSD? Like, because again, you look at this stuff, it's all brightly colored and flashing and spitting stuff
over the top.
It looks like an acid trip. And it does. Just going back and reading some interviews with both Sid and Marty, they both said no. This was just, that was kind of the vibe of the 60s. Everything was bright colors and everything else, and they said, look, we didn't use any of that stuff when we were coming up with ideas or anything. And I can't remember, I think it was Marty that said, look, I'm not saying that we didn't do an occasional drug. He's like, I was scared to death to do LSD. He's like, I never touched any of that stuff. He goes, that was just the time. And he even admitted, he goes, looking back, I could see where people would think that. But no, we weren't. This wasn't some sort of hallucinogenic thing that we had. He's like, you couldn't come up with this stuff if you were all that whacked out. Which I don't know if I agree with that, but
well, I've always wondered. But if you go back late 60s and something akin to it, when you think about Austin Powers, how they did that movie, right? It's colorful. Again, they were trying to pull in the vibe of that late 60s. You see it automatically in some of these shows, and they're right. I mean, it may not have been drug-induced culture, but it was kind of the feeling, the vibrancy, the artistry going on at that time.
Yeah, it was just the influence of it. I mean, you couldn't avoid it, apparently, back then. I mean, again, I look at some of the clothes that you look back when you were getting your picture taken in kindergarten, first grade, everything else, and I'm like, this is not good. Like, I don't know who thought this was a good idea. This is not good. It's not good at all. The nice thing is you had the excuse of saying, well, my parents dressed me. I was 6. I didn't have a choice of what I was going to wear. But were you a big Saturday morning cartoon guy? Like, because that's when all this was on. I mean, Sigmund the Sea Monster, Land of the Lost, Bugaloos, all this stuff. Electra Woman and Dyna Girl. We mentioned it, but we should also mention, people don't remember, Deidre Hall, I believe, played Electra Woman in that.
And she did, and very well. So one of my all-time favorites. And that was after figuring out later on that she was Dyna Woman. So
right.
And Electra Woman.
She was she's still in one of the soaps, right?
Soap operas, correct.
One Life to
Guiding
Live.
Light, One Life to Live. She's on one of them, but you're going to search it up real fast. Saturday morning, I was, as a kid, big into it. And if you go back, Sid, Marty Krofft, and they were kind of big before cartoons really took off in the like. Network said we have to start owning Saturday mornings more so. So then you got more animated cartoons across the networks. I mean, if you go to, I'm messing up today. I've had a long day.
It's okay.
Schoolhouse Rock. Schoolhouse Rock. Yes. Yeah. Like that is prime time for us back then, animation. But animation, I think they said somewhere that it was cheaper than doing these live action shows. Land of the Lost, I look at it and go, it's, there wasn't a lot of color. The costumes were kind of questionable, so I'm not really sure what their budget was. I mean, I still remember in the intro of them in the raft and how cheesy that looked of them in the raft going down the whirlpool, waving their arms. Oh my goodness. And ending up wherever they ended up in that land.
In the land of the lost.
The land of the lost. I was like, this can't cost that much. But maybe it did for that time. I don't know.
I don't know. But I mean, the funny thing is, you talk about Land of the Lost. Of course, you had Marshall, Will, and Holly. Here, you know what? Why don't I just go ahead,
pull some up,
and pop this up? Hold on 1 second. I have it here. I just gotta wait for it to go, and I gotta get back here. Let me share my screen once again. We'll add it to the stage, and here we go.
There it is. The banjo music, sort of.
Let me full screen this bad boy.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Oh, this is so bad. There he is, hidden Marty. I love the echo in the background. Lost. There's the T-Rex. His little tiny arms. The whole show was that, by the way. Of just the dad yelling, "Run, Holly, run."
And we loved it.
Oh, of course we did.
This almost now the connection now is Jurassic Park before there's Jurassic Park.
Well,
right?
I mean, you're not wrong. So yeah, that was a big show. In the way, of course, Will Ferrell, they did the reboot of it, did the movie. They actually brought it back, I think, Saturday morning to the early to mid 90s, maybe. They rebooted. I didn't remember that. I just saw that as I was looking at stuff today. But you remember the villains in Land of the Lost were the Sleestack. The funny thing was, and I remember this after I read, because this is a little bit of Gen X trivia, if you will, that I had remembered. Bill Lambier, when he was in high school, played a Sleestack. Because I guess they shot it, like he lived maybe near where they were doing it, and they needed tall. Remember, the Sleestack were really tall, so they went to this high school and said, "Hey, we just need a couple of basketball players to like walk around in these." And they only had like 3 or 4 costumes, and Bill Lambier was a Sleestack.
Well, wonder if that's on his resume.
I bet it is. I bet
NBA
if I go
legend Sleestack.
I bet if I go to Bill Lambier's wiki, it's there. By the way, Deidre Hall, Days of Our Lives.
Days of Our Lives.
She plays Marlena Evans on Days of Our Lives, and she's done it now for over 45 years. That's pretty good work. You're pretty solid if you've been doing something for 45 years, right?
Yeah, you're a fan favorite. I'm more amazed if you just generically look at television, how long General Hospital, some of these soap operas have been on, correct? But why did they never make it into prime time?
Well, because they're just soaps. I mean, let's face it, you had your prime time soaps. You had Dallas, you had Dynasty.
True, but they didn't last. That's my point. These soaps have lasted 40, 50 years, changing cast, storylines always the same. You would think someone would go, hey, why are we having to come up with new shows all the time? Or this show only lasted 5 seasons. The formula was already out there for some of these shows lasting 40, 50 years. Put one in prime time and see how long it goes.
I would guess because it probably wouldn't do very well in prime time. That's my guess. I don't know.
Certain segment of the population not into it.
Yeah, I mean, again, you're gonna look at like what was Larry Hagman making at the height of Dallas compared to what, and maybe this is a bad example because I could be way off. What were Luke and Laura making at the height of General Hospital?
True.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm off on that. Maybe Luke and Laura were making tons and tons of money, but you look at it if it's going to be on for that long, you can't pay like what the Friends and the Seinfeld cast and all those people were getting when they were at the height of their popularity. You're not going to be able to pay that, and then it won't last. You wouldn't be able to afford to do it. I don't know. I don't know how much soap opera actors make, but I guarantee you there's very, very few of them that are making 7 figures.
True. Well, and it's a totally different schedule because they are taping all the time.
Right.
The production is cheap. They do tape it versus film it. And, they tape 5 days a week. I think once I read they only get 4 or 5 weeks off a year because they're taping segments every single day. That's how fast their production cycle is.
And it literally is. Yeah, it's literally a grind, and you're literally like watching those people again grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's 45 years. They've seen her go through. I mean, that means she was in her early 30s when they started this, and you've just been the same person for 45 years. I mean, again, great money, great
solid work.
If you can do it, it's steady, good, steady work if you want to do that. But then you get kind of stuck into that's who you are.
Yeah, that's all you can do.
Yeah, there are very few soap opera stars that have really broken out. I mean, there have been a few.
Yeah.
Wasn't John Stamos a soap opera guy at one point? Was it Stamos?
I think so. There's been a lot of people that have always started there, and then they get out of it and move on. Good reasons, bad reasons, but it's their starting point because obviously, like you said, steady work all the time. You start there, people start to like you, see you, and then you get pulled out. I mean, and there's all sorts of ways. I mean, Rick Springfield was on General Hospital for a while, right? So now he's on Sirius XM doing Working Class DJ is the name of it. He does once a week on Sirius XM. So I always liked Rick Springfield. Mm-hmm. I will say, I think we talked about it. He did a show here a year or two ago, and him and Richard Marx were absolutely fantastic.
He crushed it. I'm jealous that you got to see him because I would love to have seen Rick Springfield. I'd still go see him.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing something in Cabo with like all the Rick Springfield and friends, and I'm like, I'm not flying to Mexico for that.
You should though.
If he came to the 9:30 club around here, I'd go. But now here's the question:
Yes,
would I be allowed to record the set? Because in this day and age, with all the phones and everything, you could probably record it.
Correct. I mean, technically, no. They wouldn't want you to. But as you've pointed out, and I've seen it at shows, the phones come out and people are recording songs and everything. So I'm not quite sure how the artists feel about that. But, I mean, there's no way to police it. You just can't.
But even if I did do that, I'd have a long way to go to catch up to the guy that you pointed out to me earlier this week. This is unbelievable.
Yeah. Aadam Jacobs, man from Chicago, came out that he had about 10,000 actual cassette tapes of concerts he recorded going back to the early 80s. He would go to shows, local clubs, not some of the big venues that you would be hoping for. Let's just put that out there now.
Yeah, I didn't see any United Center in Chicago on this list. I got all through it, but I didn't see a lot of it.
But over 10,000 cassettes, they're currently being downloaded into the Internet Archive by volunteers, and they're doing 100, 200 a month. These are full shows. You're getting things like one of the first Nirvana concerts, groups Depeche Mode, Tracy Chapman. You start going through this list, and again, this was before they were stars or big enough names that they were playing these smaller clubs. And of course, you could go in and I guess stand there with your Sony cassette recorder and just stand there, maybe even looking like what's his name?
Cusack.
Right, holding up your boombox.
Right.
Play louder. And they're not bad recordings. I've listened to a few, and if you told me he was just standing there with a cassette player and recording it, I'd be like, seriously? Because that sounded pretty good.
It's definitely not off the soundboard. I mean, that's clear. He didn't like go to the sound people like, hey man, can you plug in my Sony tape player and just, you know, when it gets to the end, just flip the tape and we'll get the other side. But yeah, if you look it up, it's Aadam Jacobs, but it's spelled with 2 A's. So
Aadam.
A-A-D-A-M, Aadam Jacobs tapes. If you just search for that, Aadam Jacobs, and then I've got it here, Dunlap, DUNLAP.ai. And that'll give you a whole list, and you can play right from it. And we were kind of looking through this. Like, the first one is all the way back in May, or no, I guess this is April of 1984. A band called Bugaloos. I have no idea. But the 7th one that he did, and I mean, Husker Du is on here a couple of different times. They were the 3rd one. The 7th one that he did, again, this is in chronological order, was on November 16th of 1984. The Bangles at a place called the Cabaret Metro. The one right after that, November 9th of 1984 at the Bismarck Theater, The Cure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's crazy.
So, and we're forewarning you people, if you go spend the time look this, do not expect the big U2. No, these were at a different time. These were bands probably on the cusp of making it.
Yeah.
You know, so they were still kind of doing the regional small gigs, building up to this. But you are getting good music in the raw before they were anybody. And as someone pointed out, you could go to Spotify, you can go to Apple Play. They have millions of these song listings, but they don't have what this guy has.
No.
You know, there's gems in there where you're going, oh my goodness, you have that.
I mean, there is, just real quick, there is a version, and I don't want to play it because we'll probably get dinged.
Yeah.
There's that Cure set from 1984 has Boys Don't Cry on it.
Mm-hmm.
You get a live version from 1984 of the Cure playing Boys Don't Cry if you go through it. And again, it's free. You're not having to pay anything to look through, and you can play all these set lists. I mean, it is amazing what this guy did.
And if you're our age and you were ever exposed to what we called college radio, late 80s, early 90s, you'll start seeing the list of these names and go, wow, he got them. You know, if you said it to other people, they'd be like, who are you talking about? But like you said, Husker Du. Who else did I see?
Let's see. I've got it pulled up in front of me here.
Yeah, okay.
Suzanne Vega, The Replacements, Jesus and Mary Chain. Let's see, Sonic Youth, REM from, this is at the UIC, University of Illinois Chicago Pavilion on November 19th, 1986. Let's see REM if I recognize.
We're going right to them.
I didn't want to play that. That's the intro. I didn't mean to fire that off. I'm looking to see somebody who's a bigger REM fan than me might be able to pull out. Superman is on here. I don't really see, again, I'm not a huge REM guy, so I don't see anything else that would jump out at me, but Superman is on there. I know that was one of their big ones. So let's see who else. Midnight Oil. 1987. Mojo Nixon at the Cubs Fair. And that was on July 1st of 1987. I mean, again, you go through this, and trust me, there are a bunch of people you've never heard of.
Yeah, and Exactly. But I mean, who knows? They could still be good if you took the time to listen to it. You're not going to read the title and go, oh my God, I need to listen to them. But who knows? Maybe they were great for the time. Maybe they were on their way and got hit by a bus on tour or something and never made it. But some of these are gems. Like I said, you're going to go in there and find things from way back when and go, oh my goodness.
Yeah, and there's a couple more from REM. Circle Pavilion, University of Illinois, Chicago, back in '87. They played back-to-back nights. I guess he went to both.
Why not?
Scruffy the Cat, for those of you that I'm serious. They were big at the 930 Club when we were first coming out in college. I remember seeing Scruffy the Cat at the 930 Club.
See it on the listing in the paper.
They Might Be Giants.
Yes.
At the Cubby Bear. Again, Cubby Bear was a big one that he went. I mean, again, Boogie Down Productions. That's from 1988. So, I mean, there are...
Depeche Mode's in there because I pulled them up earlier today and listened to it.
Giants, Sonic Youth again. They Might Be Giants. They Might Be Giants must have played in Chicago a ton because they're on here a lot.
Big city.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is, again, 10,000. Oh, here's a great band name. Cat Butt. Cat Butt. September 14th, 1989.
You got to play a cut of that. I just have to know. I'm thinking it's glam metal or something, hair metal that just never made it.
We'll play. You just tell me which one you want to hear. You ready?
Yep.
There's Born Loser, Maximo, Big Cigar, Freebase, Half Acre, Three Eyes, or Zombie. Which of those
cigar
but would you like to hear?
Big Cigar.
Let's get a taste of Big Cigar from Cat Butt from 1989. It's kind of what you expected.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Skate punk rock, it sounds like. But I was seeing who else. Camper Van Beethoven.
That's enough of Cat Butt. The Afghan Wigs.
The Feelies.
Yeah.
The Cardigans.
Fugazi is on here. I mean, the Cardigans that's a big one too. I mean,
Decemberists. Some of these I just remember because you and I doing college radio. That's where, the other people who may have not had that exposure wouldn't necessarily know these names.
Right. Fish from 1990. I mean, this is just an absolute. This is the kind of stuff that I'm sure when we were in college and you first got out and you were like in your mid-30s, well, even now, that you could be like, oh man, remember that band we used to go see? Now it would be different people in Chicago than it would be for like us here.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh man, that would have been so cool to have a recording of that. Well, this guy does.
He does.
I mean, again,
10,000.
He's got, I'm going to do the search real quick. He's got Nirvana. Let's see. I'm not spelling Nirvana wrong. Yeah, here we go. Nirvana from 1989. That was what, 2 years before Smells Like Teen Spirit and everything came out?
Yeah.
I mean, somebody who's a bigger Nirvana fan than me would be able to be like, oh no, these are all I remember that song. But that's incredible that he has a Nirvana set from 1989. Nobody else has that.
No.
Hell, Nirvana might not even have those.
Yeah. I mean, it would be interesting. He used to live down the street from you, Dave Grohl, hey, do you remember playing Chicago and get recorded one year?
In 1989?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave Grohl went to a high school right around the corner from me.
Mm-hmm.
West Springfield. But yeah, it is incredible. Again, as we've said, there are a bunch of people on here that you've never heard of. Like Cat Butt, like we talked about. But there are also a lot of big names that you're like, holy cow.
Before they were somebody, sort of.
Yeah, that they had it that early. And I wonder, I mean, the band's probably listen to that and go, oh my gosh, how bad were we? I mean, like, we probably go, that's still pretty good. They probably go, oh my God, we were terrible back then. How much better did we get? So I'd be very cool.
And I'd be interested because you don't know who in some of these bands we never heard of actually went on to be in other bands that actually may have made it, right?
Yeah.
I haven't dug into it. Nothing was said about it because they were, going with the headlines of Nirvana and some of the others. But for all we know, there could have been a drummer, bassist, or something, one of these that we don't know who, what bands do. You leave one, you go to another one, and that's the one that makes it. So,
yeah.
But from a musical perspective, just what an amazing archive for a period of time to have, even if it's a band you never heard of. We're going to have this forever now, digitized, like you said, cat butt, forever immortalized on the internet, thanks to this guy.
Let me see. I'm going to put in cat butt.
Let's wiki them.
I'm gonna just see if anybody knows who Cat Butt is. Maybe we're missing out on this.
Yeah, maybe they're in their 50th year and we didn't know it.
They only lasted 3 years.
Okay.
Cat Butt was a Seattle grunge band, 1987 to 1990, featuring David Duet, James Burdenshaw, and various other members over the time, including Tom Prince and Charlie Ryan. I don't know who that is. Bassist Dean Gunderson and drummer Eric Peterson. Well, good for them. Shout out to Cat Butt. I don't
say Tom Prince sounds familiar, but can't place him at this moment. Cat Butt. But hey, they have a wiki. So what's this tell you? We've got their concert and they've got a Wikipedia entry, right?
Yes.
So they were sort of somebody. They weren't just, 5 guys who got together and lasted 6 weeks.
No, they disbanded in late 1990.
Officially. Maybe.
Yes.
Wonder if we should do the whole it's time to get the band back together.
Get Cat Butt back together.
Can you imagine the t-shirt? We need Cat Butt.
Oh no.
What will the neighbors think?
Hey, but good for you. You picked their big release off Cat Butt #1, Big Cigar. You picked the one that was their big it, if you want to call it that.
Should have been a programmer.
I'm looking to see the other band that these guys went in. Tom Price worked with the U-Men. I've never heard of them.
Okay.
He then left to form the Kings of Rock and formed Gasshoffer in 1989. I got nothing. It doesn't look like any of the other. Again, we're not the people to ask. But it doesn't sound like they had any big time cat butt reunions. Or
You didn't get enough cat butt. I mean, I could go all day with this. We have to push for the reunion.
It's amazing. That's pretty good that they actually had a wiki. I mean, good for them for sticking around for that long. I mean, look, they were in a band for 3 or 4 more years than I was ever in a band. So I can't hate on them.
Say how to contact them. Is there a website?
No, I did not see a website. I'm still scrolling through this.
Can we buy the rights to the name?
To Cat Butt? I mean, I doubt it's trademarked.
I mean, well, I doubt it too. That's why I started thinking like maybe we could buy it.
I don't know why.
Cat Butt Resurrection. That could be
back from the dead.
Back from the dead.
Cat Butt's 5th life. Look. Oh no. Okay, never mind. I was like, oh my God, REO Speedwagon. No, somebody had a band named REO Speed Dealer.
Oh,
it's like cheating there, buddy.
I wonder what they went on to do.
I don't know. They were in 1996 is when he grabbed them. Again, this is it's amazing because, like you said, this is like what 20%.
Yes, so far.
All of it. I mean, it's crazy.
Ooh, Dinosaur Jr.
Yeah, Dinosaur Jr. was on there. Sweep the Leg Johnny. That's a pretty good band name.
We know where that came from.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just kind of scrolling through with you, see if there's anyone else that was jumping out at me. The Shins, no.
Ben Folds 5, that's pretty good. I mean, that was
more
probably
recent
early for them. That was 1997. So that was probably way early for them.
Robin Hitchcock.
Yeah, I remember Robin Hitchcock. Yeah, this is crazy.
The Meat Puppets, the Ocean Blue, because they played at George Mason.
Yes, Ocean Blue. Ocean Blue actually in 1992-ish, 93-ish, opened for the Go-Go's when the Go-Go's had their reunion tour. Because I went to that. It was down at Constitution Hall. It was the Ocean Blue and the Go-Go's. So there you go. That's my only concert. Although I didn't record it. I did see, because when I was in college, I was dating a girl that was from Montreal. You remember, of course, Marie. And if she knew about Celine Dion before Celine Dion was megastar singing the Titanic theme song, et cetera, et cetera. And I remember our buddy Ted, who was the music director at the college radio station, could sometimes get tickets when bands were coming to town. He didn't like for you to ask him for tickets because he didn't like calling in favors.
Not at all.
But I went and said, Ted, my girlfriend would like to see this singer named Celine Dion. She's from Montreal or wherever, somewhere in Canada. She sings some in French, some in English. I don't know what to tell you. She's at Constitution Hall. So you think you could get me a pair of tickets? And he looked at me and he went, sure, no one's going to that show. And I was like, okay. Because a lot of times people are asking for like the big shows that were coming through. So I remember he got me tickets and we're sitting there. And of course, she's thrilled because she'd seen her before in Montreal. And so we're sitting there and the concert's getting ready to start and everything. All of a sudden, we hear the people behind us, very well dressed. There was a woman and a guy who was like in a suit and everything. And I'm like, I'm really underdressed for this show. I didn't realize this was supposed to be some, dress up thing. I realized later it was just them, but they were from whatever record label she ended up signing a big deal with. And I remember them talking about, I think she will hit. I know people are really concerned that, all of her hits right now are in French and everything. I think she can hit. And I'm like, who are these people? So I just listening and I figured out because of Ted and hearing the way they talk that they were industry people. And I'm like, how did Ted get us seats? So I leaned over her and said, we have better seats than the people that are trying to sign her, right? You know that. Like, this is what I do. I didn't tell her that nobody wants to go to that thing. Here,
no one wants to go to that show.
No, I was just like, this is how we roll. We get tickets in front of the industry plants. So that was again one of the big I saw them before they were moments. And I don't know that I have another band that's like that.
Well, we do have the one story. But we didn't go see them.
That is true.
The Spin Doctors.
We did turn down the interview with the Spin Doctors when they came to Mason and gave it to somebody else. I don't remember who it was.
The DJ on the air. Yeah, and then left it in his hands. The volunteer student DJ. Hey, these guys are going to come by. Just talk to them.
Just talk to them. And then I think it was maybe a month later.
Yes.
We hit and we were like, well, blew that one.
Missed that one.
Who else played? I mean, Red Hot Chili Peppers played at Mason.
Yes.
Because that's when Kiedis got in trouble.
And got banned.
For the essay. Yep.
I'm
trying to think who else was Digital Underground.
With
Tupac was at Mason, I believe, the one year.
Run DMC.
Run DMC was at Mason the one year.
I think the Ocean Blue.
These acts had already blown up in a lot of cases. I'm trying to think if there was anybody that was there that you were like, wow. And then like months later, they were huge. But I can't think of anybody else.
Nothing stands out.
Again, we missed the Spin Doctors
completely.
And it was all based on, and it's a terrible thing to say, it was all based on how they looked. And they kind of smelled. Let's be honest. Right?
Well, for me, like I said, it was scheduled, if I remember correctly, there was a date or something I had to be at. And I decided the engagement was more important than them.
Well, I feel like it was around, did they play Mason Day or something?
I don't even think it was Mason Day. I think they were just in the area as part of their.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I don't remember. I just remember.
I don't remember being specifically at Mason for anything other than
the 930 Club.
Yeah, that for whatever reason they were going to come into our student radio station while they were on tour.
They were big on college radio. But that's the only thing I can think of is that they were playing at the 930 Club.
Yeah, it was a club or something. Like I said, it was off campus. That's what I knew. And that's just made it even that much more odd. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to be here. And I can't remember who I passed it to, who passed it to someone else. And it ended up being, as we said, the volunteer student DJ on the air at the time.
Congratulations.
Hope he got a tape. Maybe he used that as his springboard.
I mean, maybe.
You know.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm trying to. I can't think of anybody else. Like we would go to the 930 Club. You would go down to the old Bayou in Georgetown, which is long gone. Even the 930 Club isn't at 930. Not the original 930 Club isn't at the same place. Like where we went to see people, that club's not there anymore. They've moved it. But yeah, those were kind of the two. The Black Cat, I guess. Sometimes you get out of the Black Cat. That's where Scruffy the Cat, I believe, played as well at the 930 and the Black Cat. I mean, there were some other spots as well, but it was mainly 930 in the Bayou early on. So
yeah,
but that
there wasn't too much really in Virginia at that point. It was all DC.
Oh yeah,
you had to go into the district.
You didn't really have the music clubs. I mean, they tried to do stuff there in Fairfax, but it never took. I mean, you would go every once in a while. Was it T.T. Reynolds?
Yes.
Would have bands out back or whatever. And then the place next to it, it was called what? Planet Nova at one point. It was called, I think, the Library at another point. I mean, it had so many different names that people used to go and watch, but nothing. I mean, obviously DC had the most of it. But yeah, other than Celine Dion, I can't think of this guy, again, going back to the Aadam Jacobs tapes, this guy was at shows like pretty much almost 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the dates, he wasn't it doesn't say, but it wasn't, he was a writer. It wasn't that he was a music critic. He was just hobbyist going to listen to music and recording it.
Yeah, I mean, good for him to have the foresight to think, hey, I should record some of this stuff. I don't know why he thought to do it and then keep all these tapes after all these years. But it is an impressive thing. And again, there's a lot of, I'm not going to say junk because people are musically talented and that's awesome. And they got up there and, like I said, did their thing on stage and everything else. Whoa, what was that?
That's the dog. He's unhappy. Stand by.
Trooper. Right. Bring him in here. I didn't know the dog was with you on your. Yes. We should say you're not at home. You're actually on the road.
I am on the road in deep southern Maine because I'm doing some teaching over in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. So I didn't want to do the super commute back north.
Yeah, you're going across state lines then.
Yes. Teaching at the Portsmouth, New Hampshire Police Department.
Nice. And what are you teaching them?
CPR.
Okay. You're that certified?
That certified.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. But yeah, for this guy, again, Aadam Jacobs, wherever you are, fantastic. This is a treasure trove. Again, if you're Gen X, because this is a lot of, again, the bands that we kind of, again, starts in the mid 80s. So you're seeing a lot of bands and there's a lot of, like you've said, a lot of people that you've never heard of on those lists, but the gems of, again, Nirvana in 1989. That's incredible. You've all the Midnight Oil, all of those. It's amazing to have that look back to kind of, again, see how their sound got shaped and everything else. So good on him. That's incredible.
I want to dig more into this guy because the couple recordings I listened to, like you said, it's not coming off the soundboard, but it's fairly clean. So I want to know, hey, what tape deck did you use? Did you have an external mic? Did you just stand there for 2 hours with the old plug-in microphone just standing there? Or
I thought, and maybe somebody's just being, facetious or whatever, but I thought somebody said that he basically had it in his pocket. But maybe I can't imagine the sound being that good if he just had it in his pocket.
And especially if it was going to be low, you got people in front of you. So I wanted to get a sense of that. And the other thing I like on some, at least the site I saw, they have a picture of the actual cassette tape where he hand wrote what the songs were. So you can see the cover versus it just being some weird logo or something generic they stuck in. So it'll be a picture of the tape and a picture of the insert, and you can see the handwriting of what each track is that they've digitized. So, I mean, even just seeing it that way, I think is pretty amazing.
Well, here's, again, this is incredible. It said Jacobs' recording technique grew in sophistication over his 3 decades taping career. He used cassette tapes for about a decade, sometimes taping on 2 decks at once so he could give a copy to the band. I mean, it's amazing, right? To be like, hey, man, here you go. I'm going to keep one for me.
He is for you.
I mean,
because he got a double tech tape with a big shoulder strap carrying it on his hip. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I need to read more to imagine how he did this.
Well, that's what I'm trying to read this here. Let's see. I'm looking. Oh, it said in the early days of recording shows, Jacobs was forced to sneak around the club owners who didn't want him taping gigs.
Mm-hmm.
As the years passed and his notoriety on the Chicago music scene blossomed, he was often called the taper guy and sometimes let into shows for free.
So okay.
Wild. So yes,
Back when you could do those things,
sticking stuff in his pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, it's wild.
Get to know people. Hey, I'm going to set this up over here or side stage, and I'll be back for it. Thanks.
Yeah, no, I don't think he was hitting record and putting, setting up a little mic stand in front of the, monitors.
Doesn't sound like a Grateful Dead show,
right?
I don't know if have you been to one of those back in the day.
Have I? No.
Yeah. So
I've never been to a Grateful Dead show. Not
the
mine.
big one I saw was at RFK Stadium in DC, and recording the shows was allowed, and it was a big thing audio wise. And there would be this section of all these microphones up and facing the band. And when I say a section, I'm talking 50, 60, 70 microphones, and people would record the shows. They trade them.
Yeah.
Yes, as part of the groupiness. But it was just amazing to see that because, again, a little bit more strict in general. You get to that show and the guy's bringing in his equipment, rolling it in, setting up his mic, and got his tape deck going. And that was the first time I saw that. I was like, whoa, this is different.
The only time, and this wasn't illegal because I wasn't selling any of it, but Jimmy Buffett was one of the first guys to live stream his concerts. So if he was playing in Colorado, let's say, but you wanted to sit back, have a drink, and listen to the concert, you could go to his website and they would stream the show. It wasn't video. It was just audio at that time. Later, they added video to it. And you could just sit and listen to it. It was cool. So the only time I did it, of course, we had what was then Cool Edit Pro. It might have been Adobe Audition by then, but you could basically program like a VCR, for lack of a better word, like the Adobe Audition to start at a certain time and then end at a certain time. So before I left for one of the local shows, I set up my Adobe Audition. I think it was either jimmybuffett.com. I don't think it was margaritaville.com yet. It might have still just been jimmybuffett.com, whatever it was. Had it streaming when I left, and I had Adobe Audition up and, timed out. And when I got back, I had the 2.5 hours of the concert, and I made my own little CD from it because I was like, oh, it's cool. I was at this show and everything else. And then you come to realize later, like, he was doing that all the time. Like, it's like, hey, if you want to record it. Didn't care, and was starting to put out like CDs. Like, hey, here's the show from Hawaii. You can order this one from here. I'm not sure how many people actually did that, because other than, hey, I want to copy the show that I was at, why would you? It's the same set list in every city. It didn't change. But that was one of the cool things where you're like, okay, I can get a copy. I can make my own copy of that concert by just streaming it and having Adobe Audition up and ready to go. I imagine a lot of bands you could do that now with, because so many places live stream a lot of stuff. I mean, Buffett was doing that right up until the time he died. That any live performance was streamed pretty much on margaritaville.com. So pretty good idea. All in all. All right, one more thing.
Oh yeah,
for Gen X. I think I might be on the wrong side of the fence on this one, Gary. I don't know. It was announced today. Paramount is going forward with Top Gun 3.
Why?
Okay, good. You're on the same
Why?
side I am then.
I mean, this goes back to what we discussed before. Hollywood reboots the whole 9 yards. You're just milking I don't remember the word, milking the franchise, extracting the revenue from these storylines over and over. And again, they come out with it. I'm sure there's going to be enough people that will pay the money to go see it to figure it out. But as you and I talked earlier, the story's done. I'm not sure what more we need from this story from Maverick.
Right. What else can you basically squeeze out of this thing?
Well, that's what confused me, because Maverick was the perfect ending, right? You get him the redemption story, another successful mission, if you will. He gets the girl at the end. He repairs his relationship with his best friends. It was all there, wrapped up in a bow, done. Closing credits with the great song from Lady Gaga. They go off this. It was done. The story was done. That's all we needed. I don't know what they're going to come up with for 3.
Yeah, I don't know. And again, it's hard to argue with doing another one when, as I look at it here, the box office globally in 2022 was $1.5 billion. I mean, hard to argue with that, right? Like, if you're making $1.5 billion, it's hard to say, yeah, we shouldn't do another one.
Well, that's the thing. Paramount is not doing it for the artistry.
Well, no, of course.
So then let's just, as we said, let's start there. You said 1.5 billion. That's what the people at Paramount see. Hey, maybe we can get 1.1. Who knows? That's what they're going after.
But the question is, because again, and if you disagree with us, it's fine. Would love to know.
Yeah.
Drop a little comment there in the bottom, whatever it is. Is our generation, because we were glad to go back because it was 1986. We were both 15 or turning 15, that year, whatever it was. We were glad to go back to it because there were some storylines you could tie up and all that kind of stuff. Felt bad for Kelly McGillis. Didn't get to, right? I'm getting that name right.
Yes.
Here.
Yep. You have it right.
And she wasn't back for round 2, but let's face it,
she kind of gave up.
It was not good to her as far as being a movie star goes.
True.
We'll just leave it at that. I don't know that they would have been able to pull off her still being his love interest 30 some years later or whatever it was. Actually, I guess it was more than that. It was almost 40 years later.
40 years.
So what are you going to squeeze out of this, though? That's the thing. I'm with you. The storyline's kind of been wrapped up, ready to go. Are we going to believe a mid-60s Tom Cruise is still up there in a fighter jet? Are we buying that?
One last mission, Bill. He's going to ask you to, barring from his Mission Impossible, I'm going to ask you to trust me one more time.
I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't get it.
Well, like I said, it's a profit extraction, and when we talked about the reboots, is we want the story to continue. We don't need new people doing it.
Right.
We would like to see the story continue and get wrapped up, and that's where it gets confusing for me. As we said, that story was wrapped up in Maverick. So where are we going? I can't wait to figure out where we're going on this.
So anyway, what I was saying, I apologize, folks. We got snipped there. Something happened with the internet. Things happen. What I was saying, he doesn't have kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even a matter of, oh, I don't want my son to be. There's none of that. So what do you do? What's the conflict? What's the whole thing? Like, you had that with him and Goose's son in Maverick Top Gun 2, if you want to call it that. What is it going to be like? Oh, well, your neighbor wants it. Like, what is there going to be? There's nothing left to squeeze out of this stone.
There is, Bill.
Okay, what is it?
Are you ready for this?
You lay it on me. Write the script right now.
I'm pretty sure it was last week we talked about this. Top Gun.
Yep.
Alien Invasion.
That's called Independence Day. It's been done.
Correct. Already done, but we're going to come up with a new version. He's got to come out of retirement because we have an alien invasion and the young pilots aren't getting it done. He knows how to fly the mission. He knows how to. I'm telling you, as you said, it's going to come out, and that's where it's going to be.
But if they're writing the script now, then they have forbearance that this is coming out.
Correct.
That alien disclosure is coming.
So we've always said that the stuff's always been ahead, and then we're conditioned to understand it, and then boom, it's real. So here we are. Tom Cruise, Top Gun, Alien Invasion.
No, if that's it, I will not go see it in the movie theater.
Because think about it. He was supposed to be doing some other space movie, and they couldn't get the clearances to use the ISS, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So they scrapped it. I can't remember what it was, but it was supposed to be some space mission movie because he really wanted to be weightless, really wanted to be in space. They couldn't get the clearances to do it.
So they were actually going to send him to space?
That's what he wanted, and that's how they wanted to do some of the. So that's what I'm saying.
Look, the reason they let him do it, Gary, is because space is fake. We know that. Didn't you watch all the videos of the people telling you that Artemis 2 didn't actually go
Never
into
left.
space? Yeah, they were just in a warehouse with a green screen and wherever it was. Yeah,
They scorched the capsule with torches, put it in the back of a bomber, and then dropped it out so we could see the chutes.
Yeah. High altitude was it Halo? Isn't that what
Halo
it's called?
jumps? Yeah, high altitude, low opening.
Yeah, that's what they did just with the entire capsule. They just strapped them in. They'd been hanging out in the warehouse. They're like, all right, let's go, guys. We'll shut the video off so we can get you up in the plane and drop you out. Yeah. So that's why they won't let Tom Cruise go to space, because then he'll rat everybody out. How it's fake. No, if they do anything with Alien, I'm not. I saw it. It was Independence Day. It was pretty good. Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum. Wasn't a bad movie. I don't need to see it again with Maverick.
You might. Well, again, what also caught me off guard was because supposedly the next project was the Days of Thunder, revisit. And, again, same storyline. It's him 40 years later, and what's our new redemption story as a race car driver now. That's what I thought was supposed to be in the works.
That they could pull off only because they could, because you don't know, but I mean, he could have a son who's decided to be a driver because they did. I mean, you couldn't do that now with Maverick or Top Gun 3 because it's already been established that he never got married. Like,
correct.
We have that. He doesn't have kids. Well, you don't have that establishment in Days of Thunder. So
and in
coming out of
fact,
it, that could be it.
He may have dated Nicole Kidman, but there was an episode with a stripper after he won his first race, and that is your origin story of where this
there you go.
kid came from.
Almost like a Ricky Bobby move.
Yes.
Talladega Nights. I see where you're going with this. The only bad thing about it is, kind of like the Val Kilmer thing with Top Gun, is Robert Duvall isn't around anymore.
True.
So that kind of sucks. But
they pulled it off.
I'm sure they could. But I saw one article on the on Top Gun 3. Again, it's people speculating right at the beginning. They're like, well, I mean, could they use AI to bring back Val Kilmer's character? No, he died in Maverick. Why would you bring him back? He's dead.
That storyline was written.
It's already done.
But I'm sure there's people kicking themselves now at the studios going, oh, if we hadn't wrote that in there, we could have put him in 3.
But the way, even if they didn't have him die in 2, the way that he was, barely able to talk and everything else, you wouldn't buy any of it anyway. If all of a sudden it's a healthy Val Kilmer, like, you'd be like, what happened? Iceman was on his last dying breath the last time we saw him, and now he's back. This makes no sense. That's the only thing I worry about. I don't want them, and I don't think they obviously won't do as many. I don't want them to Fast and Furious this thing. Like,
correct.
The only reason they make those is because a bunch of dumb dudes go and watch the stupid thing. And it's just the same stuff over and over again. Oh, look, here's a fast car. How can we could drop the car out of a plane. We can have it jump over a boat. I mean, that's all it is, which, okay, if you're into that thing, great. I don't want them to Fast and Furious Top Gun. I don't want it to get to the point where, like, they're just doing this for the money. And that's all it is. It's kind of like, I want to say, well, again, a perfect example, the Friday the 13th, when they're like, the final chapter. And then there were 7 more. There were like a ton of them after that. Like, no, it wasn't the final chapter. You wrote another whole series. Like, what are we doing? When they had Freddy and Jason fighting in space, you kind of know that it's over at that point, right? Like, all right, we reached the end. We can't, this is kind of dumb. We can't do this anymore. So
maybe the article mentioned it because you said you saw it. I didn't. My whole thing is, well, where's Tom Cruise on this? Because he's an act. He's all for it. Okay, because that's what my next question was. Because he's not your average actor. He has a chance to go. No, we will do this. We won't do that. And so I'm highly surprised that he's like, yeah, let's do it again.
Yeah,
because he doesn't seem to be one, especially at this point in his career, that's hard up for the money to let's run this. Let's see if we can get another $1 billion out of this.
They talked about him and Jerry Bruckheimer is going to be involved. And they might have the same director as from Maverick Top Gun. And again, Maverick Top Gun didn't break any new things either, as far as like, let's be honest, I enjoyed it because I liked the first one. And this was a lot of what we loved about the first one. It was basically almost the exact same stuff. Like, there's a bunch of stuff that was the same from the first one, which is why all of us in Gen X loved it, because it reminded us of when we were a teenager again and watching all of that stuff. They had so many throwbacks to the original. You've done it. Thank you. We appreciate it. It gave us our bit of nostalgia. We loved it. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. I don't know. That's just that's where Tom Cruise and all of them are. So yeah, it's coming. We can't do anything about it. That's just what it is. So
okay.
Anyway. So how long are you there in Southern Maine before we call this a night?
I am here, well, technically through Monday morning, because after I'm done teaching tomorrow, I go on duty for the weekend. So I'll be here through the weekend and then head back north on Monday.
Okay. Very good.
It's been a long week away from home.
Back in the home studio next week then when we record.
Yes.
So that'll be good. Awesome. Well, I think we've done it. We covered again. RIP to Sid Krofft. It was a heck of a run. 96, I think he was. I mean, you get 90 plus, you were living good. I mean,
yes, you are.
Great. And again, I don't know if would it be weird to reach out to Aadam Jacobs somehow? I feel like everybody is trying to get him on, so I don't want to
right now. Yeah,
guy to be like, oh, you got to come on our show too. We have 20 people that watch every week. So again, great. Go to Aadam Jacobs. It's AADAM, Aadam Jacobs. Just search Aadam Jacobs tapes. You'll be able to
You'll
find it. You will get lost for hours just scrolling through this and be like, oh my gosh, he has this band. Oh my gosh, he has that band. And it's just scratching the surface. Really good stuff there. And please, if they do Top Gun 3, just don't ruin it. Just stop trying to ruin everything that we loved growing up. Just there's zero respect for Gen X these days, it feels like. I just don't want to know everything. So any parting shots, any parting words before we get out of here?
Well, we didn't get to it, but everyone will understand we need the flat tax.
Oh, yeah.
We had tax day, and I did mine and said, we need the flat tax.
Yeah, we need something because it's not fun. It's not fun, especially for me. A lot of my stuff is 1099s. So that refund check is not coming my way. The money is going the other way this time around. So got to take care of that at some point. But yeah, hopefully everybody got their taxes done. It was generally painless. You know, you fell out.
It is now.
My cousin's a CPA. He has TurboTax. I go to him. It's simple. So anyway, all right, sir. As always, appreciate it. We'll be back next week, episode 31. Gary will be back in his home studio then. We will see you next time.
This concludes this episode of Gen X Men with Bill Rowland and Gary Dollarhite. Gen X Men is now off the air.